back around on this side of the ring. I thought the three showmen that just did the most consistent job of their transitions out into walk and getting into where they needed to lead into their set, and then getting their feet and leg placement pretty dang consistent and being a little more aware, just a nickel more aware of where they're at in the ring and how to use the ring. I thought there was three showmen that stuck out. And it's the young lady with the black heifer second from my left. You got the young man here from second from my right, and then the young lady on my far right. And those are my three that stuck out. Take nothing away from those three that sit below that. I think they do a really good job fundamentally, once they're in place, figuring out where their feet need to go. I think the next step for those three showmen is just being a nickel more aware as you're coming into your turns and as you're transitioning into your leads, where you want those feet to go, where your calf needs to be in the ring. And I think those are little things, and I think it's being nitpicky in this age group, but I think you've got a really, really deep set, even though you don't have a ton of volume here in terms of numbers. I think you have a really deep set of showmen that know what they want to do, and I compliment those parents and everybody that are coaching. You get out here between those three, like I said, within questions, I'm not using it any more than just let's get an idea what they know about, a little bit about cattle, let's get an idea if they understand what they're trying to do with that stick, and then it's mostly for tiebreaker, because sticking cattle is what means more than anything when you're trying to get these things lined up. So when I get out here, I think there's three of them that do a good job. Third for me is the young lady, second from my left. And then the battle between first and second is really tight. But I think the showman that's just absolutely kept it laser focused, done an awesome job. And the calf's cooperating a little better. Young man's first, young lady's second. Congratulations, a real good set of showmen though. Give all these kids a nice round of applause as they exit.
Your champion junior. Sorry about that. Your champion junior showman was Colby Harcourt, followed by Brickley Oliver for reserve. Your sponsor of the junior showmanship banner was Tri-County Bank and Trust. We have 2 classes of intermediate showmanship today, so the judge will select a number of these kids to come back in the final drive. They'll select some from each class 3 and class 4 in your program, and they'll come back for the final drive and selection of intermediate and reserve champion and showman.
As we work our way on through these heats and these divisions with multiple heats within them, I'm going to try to not tire out the showmen and the cattle. I know it's early in the morning, it shouldn't be an issue, but obviously this is going to be an ultra competitive champion drive within this particular group. I have no doubt that'll follow suit in the seniors as well. And so when you consider all that, first impressions are key as they are in life. And when we get out here, I think there's 4 showmen that absolutely jump off the screen in regards to their ability to be intense, be aware, and then get these calves stuck almost 99.9% of the time. And with all that said, I'm not going to delay it anymore. I'll tell you those 4. We'll go ahead and rack them and stack them for the next heat and go ahead and go in the finals. Young lady on my far end here on the left. Young man third from my left out here. Young lady right next to him. Young man right here, and the young man on the end. Those are my 4 showmen. I think they do an awesome job getting these cattle taken care of. We'll go ahead and come back out for finals with them. Again, the rest of them are left. Just a little bit more intensity, eye contact, and awareness literally is what about separated this group. Let's go into the next heat. Congratulations to all the showmen.
This is showmanship. You don't have to produce it if you don't want to. If it's like 4 cows, I just want you to like make sure you zoom in on them in the middle. I mean, you're gonna be sitting here. You might as well do some of it. So, in that nice comfy chair. Right. All right. So, Hannah and Savannah are gonna come today. I might have them come up here and make sure you're okay before. If I'm not doing that, if it's a break. You know you need to talk about it.
We're now ready for Class 4 Intermediate Showman. Class 4 Intermediate Showman. Those 5 coming out of the first heat: Ethan Harcourt, Jaden Simpson, Alex Steffi, Parker Hacker, and Kennedy Clark. Keep those calves close. Joining us today to help pass out banners and ribbons and recognize the kids are the Putnam County 2018 Fair Queen Reagan Bowling. And her court is first runner-up was Mackenzie Taylor. Second runner-up was Emma Holzapple. Third runner-up was Jessica Hayes. And Miss Congeniality was Skylar Clifford. 3 of those 5 ladies spent a significant amount of time in the beef barn. Reagan, Mackenzie, and Skylar, so appreciate them for what they provided to the beef barn over the years.
She's probably loving it.
All too often you get into these divisions, and I've been a part of these unfortunate breaks as well. And this is not to take anything away from these exhibitors that are sitting in this group within this division, but that last group, I mean, as you can tell by my voice, as I'm downing cough drops like it's my job, this last 3 weeks has been a lot of shows and everything, and so you get a little wore down. And I will tell you, I've seen enough shows, enough livestock events, and when you get into a heat within a division like that last one, you're saying, geez, OP, I don't want to keep all of them, because then I've got 12 of them in the ring maybe by the time I get into this champion drive, and I'm just letting you kind of have an idea of what you think about when you sit in this ring and you're holding this mic, and then I get out here, and with all due respect, this group, I would say a large portion of them are just a little bit behind in terms of intensity and their drive out here and awareness to get these cattle where they need to be relative to an extremely good group. The last one, there's 2 to 3 of them in the last group. I probably pull back within this group knowing what I was keeping out of here. That's A, to let you guys know how really an awesome division this has been so far, and B, to also let you know that if you were sitting in that last group and I didn't catch you, I didn't pull you, then keep in mind, don't be defeated. It's just county fair. I promise you that you'll get more opportunities as the time goes on. Within this particular group, I get off my just a little bit of tangent box, then I get out with what's in here. The showman that gave me the best first impression initially were the two young ladies that kind of sit square out in front of me. Now, cattle have not cooperated the best, and the angles have not gotten as well as things have wore on. While at the same time, there's two young men that came out here and then at the same time got their calves stuck. They're a little slower at the start, but calves have been stuck, they've been composed, and they haven't missed a beat since. Because of that, I will keep that conglomeration of four. We'll bring those back to the finals, and we'll see how big of a bloodbath this is going to get in this particular division. So for me, the two young ladies directly in front of me and the men on each side of them are going to go ahead and come back in this particular division, and we'll see how this works. Should be an extremely good group of intermediate showmen in the champion drive. Give all the exhibitors a hand as they exit.
We're now ready for that other group of intermediate from the first division, first heat, to come into the ring. The exhibitors making it through Class 4 into this final division were Jackson Heyman, Braden Mann, Hanley Everman, and Katie Fry. Senior Showmanship Class 5. Senior Showmanship Class 5, you should be making your way to the arena.
Guys, I gotta remember how hot that is. Guys, I can't emphasize to you I know we all get caught up, especially you get in the month of July in Indiana. You get just nonstop, you're geared in trying to get these county fairs knocked out, you're focused on your deal, and you don't get to get out and see maybe as many of them as you normally would. And I'm gonna tell you that, you know, half my years on cattle and half my years on hogs and a little bit of market lambs, and I will tell you that I easily can say this without just taking advantage of the moment in the audience. I will tell you that this is by far and away the deepest division at especially a county fair level for showmanship that I've came across in quite some time across those species. Just the awareness, the knowledge, and the ability to understand. Every judge has their thing. Showmanship's a Miss America pageant, quite frankly. And when we get into this deal, we all have our things we love. I love a showman. When you got this much room in a ring, I love a showman that can just understand a ring, understand position and placement, because that's the thing that correlates in my mind the strongest with sticking cattle in the show. Because every little bit's going to matter, every opportunity and every angle is going to be right, and you got to be familiar with what that cap is. And when I get in these intermediates and seniors, it's time to put on your big boy and big girl pants and come out here and understand what that is. And I think that's a reasonable set of expectations across this group. I say all that, all of these showmen out here, yes, a couple calves are getting a little ornery, but all of these calves, all these showmen that are sitting out here do an absolutely phenomenal job. Before I go ahead and name off your top 4, and then I'll even go into probably top 5, go ahead and give all these exhibitors a nice hand on a really good set. I'll also try not to hack into this mic. As we go ahead and get into this deal, I think there's, again, I talk first impressions, I beat that like a dead horse, so I won't get too far into it. But I just think there was a group of showmen that I thought initially jumped out in heat, and then when we get into this final drive, I was looking forward to working with them, and they're awesome to work with. And when we get into this group, for me, 5th out of this particular group's going to be the young man, kind of dead center from me, right here in the middle. He's going to go ahead and be your 5th place showman out of this particular group. He does an awesome job. Obviously, I just ran you 5th hole, so there's something I didn't like, so I'll go ahead and leave him with what that was. For me and that showman, I just thought there was on occasion that steer can get just a little straight-legged off his rear leg, and when you can kind of re-pull him and get that rear leg positioned a little more comfortably and set, I think that makes that calf look a hair better. Other than that, he can get a little lost up to the wall when you got some guys working out. And I know there's a fine line between working and setting your calf out too far out and going there. There's going to be all sorts of opinions on that, so I'm not going to take that away. Again, those were little things I took from that, but I thought he did an absolute awesome job. Congratulations to him. 4th actually is going to be the young lady, right to his right. I thought there may not be a more just focused and absolutely intense showman in terms of eye contact in this particular group. And then when you take into the fact that she absolutely has this calf's head always at the absolute optimal level, I think that's awesome. Some opportunities and some times I thought when she used the ring kind of walking out and then into her step, I thought she could have been a nickel smoother than this set of really good showmen. And then at times I thought foot position could be tweaked ever so slightly. That's what we're nitpicking on this group. 3 through 1's all off to my right here. And I think these guys do an absolutely awesome job. I think little things separate them in regards to their knowledge. I did use a little bit into play, and at the same time, I wanted to see, can they understand with these calves, each one of them have different types of cattle, how can we keep them consistently positioned and in place and stuck to where they can look their absolute best. Within this group, and it really sorts on, again, opportunities to keep that calf where they need to be. 3rd's the young lady on my left. 2nd's the young man in the middle. 1st is the young man on my right. Congratulations to all those showmen. Absolutely smoking good group. Give them all a really good hand.
Champion intermediate showman was Jaden Simpson. Congratulations to Jaden. Parker Hacker was reserve. 3rd was Alex Steffi. 4th was Kennedy Clark, and 5th was Ethan Harcourt. We're now ready for that Class 5 Senior Showman. Class 5 Senior Showmanship. Class 6, be making your way to the arena. Class 6 Senior Showmanship, be making your way to the arena, please. For those Angus Heifer Showmen, we will take a 10-minute break. Once our Senior Showman is selected, we will take a 10-minute break before we have that first class of Angus Heifers come to the arena.
As I've said in prior divisions as we work through here, I said that I'll take as long as I feel like it's reasonable within each group, and we'll still try to keep this wagon train moving. And within that, I think there's 3 showmen, especially 2 of them, but I'm going to give this 3rd showman redemption because he went ahead and kind of pulled himself back together, and the calf and him got back on the same page. And so we'll see how they come out in the finals and go from there. But your 3 showmen that are going to come back in this particular senior division are my first 3 right up here in front of me. Those 3 will come back, take nothing away from these 2 young showmen. My challenge to them would be to make sure that you can get that calf and you to cooperate and get them stuck with as quickly and as efficiently as you can. I understand it's early, you got fans running, it feels awesome in here. Calves are going to get a little frisky and ornery. I understand that. At the same time, I challenge you to more quickly get those calves on the same page as you get them stuck. That's literally what sorted this group. Give all the exhibitors a nice round of applause. Looking forward to senior finals.
The three exhibitors coming out of that heat, going into the finals, will be Grace Fry, Jonathan Pointer, and Ethan Ham. We are now ready for Class 6 Senior Showmanship. Again, Angus Heifer breeder or showman. We will take a 10-minute break after the selection of champion senior showman. We will take a 10-minute break.
Testing. As we close out the senior division and we get ready to go into senior finals, I think it's only appropriate to go ahead and put our hands together for the exhibitors that ran through in both of those heats. No doubt, guys, and I'll just go ahead and give this little spiel like I do in a lot of these senior divisions. The thing we can forget about, as good as that intermediate group was, when you get to the senior side of things and you start involving all the extracurriculars on the outside of the ring, significant others, jobs, different things we're competing in, and sports by no means have gotten any less demanding, and you go into all these other things, and quite frankly, it's amazing we have as many tenured 4-H members as we do, and as many seniors go ahead and still come out here for showmanship, because at this point in life, the mindset can be there's a lot better things to do. And I compliment any of them that have came out here and just gave it an opportunity to stick a cap in this ring in showmanship, because you didn't have to. And so that's why I went ahead and wanted to give that shout out. I think it's appropriate in the senior division. And when I get back out here, I think there's 4 showmen that hit me fairly well. We'll see what they look like with the other 3, and we'll have a nice group of 7 for the finals. Your first 4 in a row, right up here on my right. You're going to go ahead and come back for the finals. Congratulations to all those exhibitors. Give all of them one last hand as they go ahead and exit. Should be a fun final drive.
Those showing from Class 6 making it into the finals are Mallory Miner, Sarah Furman, Tyler Thompson, and Jaden Simpson. We're now showing for champion senior showman. We will select the top 6 out of this group. Those 6 will supply cabs for our round robin on Thursday night, and the winner of the senior showmanship will be the Beef Barns representative for the round robin on Thursday night. I believe that starts in the horse arena at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Our sponsor this year for the intermediate showmanship banner that was handed out a little earlier is Wes and Nicole Hacker. for as many years as I can remember, this award for Senior Showman in the Beef Barn has been sponsored by Risk Farms and recognizes the John Risk Memorial Award. And when I say as many years as I can remember, we're talking decades now. So we've been sponsoring that as the John Risk Memorial Award, sponsored by Risk Farms for several years. And when we name our champion, John's brother Mike Risk is here to award that banner. So really appreciate the continued support of that family.
Well, we're going to go ahead and get out of sorting the kids, which is what always showmanship feels like as a judge standpoint. And we'll get into sorting cattle, which I like a lot. And so it'll get a lot of fun to get into that. But as we get through this group, guys, I can't iterate enough. Just most year, I mean, for a cattle show that has, you know, in the ballpark 80 to 90 head of calves, for you to show up with still this many quality, good demeanor, just professional senior showmen that take an opportunity and take it this serious, again, with just everything you have going on the backside of your show career, I think we deserve to give all of them a nice hand as we're wrapping this up. We get out here and, you know, silly me wasn't thinking, and I knew you guys had, you know, you had to go ahead and get a six lineup put together for your round robin, which I think is actually a really good idea. And most of the county fairs I don't do that. I think it's a really smart move. But I will tell you that out of courteous and respect, you know, having 7 through here, I'm not going to be mean and leave one out sitting down here. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you my top 2. I'm going to go ahead and leave up there the other 4, you know, for those guys to pull back for your round robin. But my top 2 I will talk about out here. I think that's being respectful. And as we get out here, I think there's one of them that just from the word go, just lit it up in terms of awareness, intensity, like I've talked earlier, and this showman can flat stick them. I've been impressed, and I think it's just a really, really good representative out of your beef club. The young lady on my far right is going to be your champion. Congratulations. Take nothing away, guys, from the rest that are in here. I mean, really good sets of showmen here and there that I can nitpick. Second for me that I think did the most consistent job of sticking calves. I was impressed talking with that individual when we were going over a few things. The young man straight in front of me with the Baldy calves. Going to go ahead and come with me. Going to be your second. Congratulations, guys. Awesome group. My compliments to all those exhibitors.
Congratulations, Grace Fry, on winning Senior Showman, and Jonathan Pointer for being our reserve. We're going to take just a few minutes here to take some pictures with Grace and Mike Risk and the Queens, and then we will start with the Angus Heifers in 10 minutes. At 9:30, we will be ready for that Class 1 Angus Heifers.